In the past 2 years, I spent over $50,000 in SMMA courses, so you don't have to. And here's exactly what I learned. Truth is, right now, you're probably watching these YouTube videos with people just flexing their Instagram lifestyles. And then what you do is you go over to their courses and actual breakdowns of how they're actually running their business. And on top of that, you're imagining yourself living those Instagram lifestyles, right? Your attention span is probably very low. A lot of people are actually going to probably click off of this video and then go on to the next Lambo in Dubai video or something like that. But if you do retain this information and everything I talk about in this video, it's going to potentially change your life and change your business for the better, so you don't have to keep spending money on SMMA courses or watching those Instagram lifestyle videos. And you're probably browsing YouTube looking for those free tutorial videos in order to start up your agency. And then truth is, what's happening is you're just firing dopamine and you're not really sure where to start. Just watching those videos give you a dopamine rush and it feels like you're accomplishing something, but in reality, you're going to be in the same spot and you're just going to click off into another video and try to learn something, but not actually taking action on a day-to-day basis to actually hit your revenue goals. Maybe you get started with the business, or maybe you just never get started and you go try to find that other shiny object that's currently happening in 2025 and beyondwards. And here's what works about SMMA courses, and here's actually what doesn't work. So coming from somebody that's spent over $50,000 on different programs and has tried out every single business model out there ever since I was 16, I remember jumping into Tai Lopez's 67 steps. What happened after a week, I got that dopamine rush of joining something new, but in reality, I just quit, went to Amazon FBA, took another course and had it for maybe 3 to 5 months, quit, saw some success, went to dropshipping, bought another course in order to get into dropshipping. Dropshipping was nice, generated $200, $300 in revenue per day. In reality, I just jumped into another avenue as well. In terms of day trading, went to crypto, went to SaaS, and finally went back into SMMA. And that's probably happening with a lot of y'all. And you're jumping from course to course, but you really don't see success in any of the avenues that you go down. And there's a main reason for that. And I'm going to get into why exactly this is happening and how you can combat that as well. Truth is, no info program online, no matter how good the program is, will have a 100% success rate. What if it was never about the program that you join? What if it was never even about the course that you join, but rather it's actually about the person that's currently taking the program? And the program essentially is to get you committed to basically put all of the information online into one place that you could just basically consume. But there's still going to be things that you try to figure out yourself. Without the course or without the program, what's going to happen is you have to manually go find answers to your questions, while the course is going to have everything there for you. At the end of the day, it still relies on the person taking the program. I could give you our entire systems, which we do in our school community. Our entire systems, our sales scripts, how we run ads, objection handling, how to delegate, and how to hire and grow your sales team or grow your agency team in general. But in reality, looking at the school statistics, a lot of people, they join for maybe 2 months, 3 months, and then they give up. And then they quit, they go off to another shiny object in the make money online space. And the truth is, a lot of people do not succeed, but the people that do succeed, I see them take action super fast and they have that momentum going for them. They stick to it. And those are the people that are actually closing clients and closing deals. No matter if they feel sick, no matter if they feel demotivated, they take action every single day in order to get to their goals. And that really relies on the person taking the program. The program gets you committed, but in reality, at the end of the day, it's all up to you. We're going to give you a support network, but in reality, it's still up to you to commit to the process. And right now, like Hormozi says, it's so easy to win nowadays because people just give up and hope that somebody is coming to save them. In reality, nobody's coming to save you. Even though we have a program, or even though somebody has a program, even though somebody has a course, nobody is going to hold your hand and come and save you from whatever bottlenecks you run into, because every single bottleneck in the business is going to be something different. Whether it's show up rates, whether it's closing rates, whether it's how to generate leads, how to book appointments, every bottleneck is going to be different. It's up to you to take the information in the course and adapt to it. Now with the age of AI, it's very easy to just get fast instant solutions from a custom GPT or just talking to ChatGPT in general. And a lot of people don't do that, right? If they run into a bottleneck, what's going to happen is they just give up and then they go off to the next shiny object and they think that the grass is always greener. But in reality, the grass is greener where you water it. And the truth is, information is all out there if you have time to look. So whether you take a course, whether you just want to run on free YouTube videos, information is out there. There's a lot of people just giving free info online. And even me with our masterclass on how to generate leads for your agency, and then also how to close those leads and how to fulfill for those leads. We're going to have all of that free on our YouTube. But in reality, a lot of people are not going to take a look, or they're not actually going to take action. So the programs that you join essentially condense all the information in one spot so you don't have to take a look. So instead of wasting months, if not years of your life, you get to speed up that progress. That was the main thing that got me to spend $50K plus on different SMMA courses, because I didn't want to keep wasting months, if not years of my life. From when I was 16 until 23, where I actually had a successful agency, that was 7 years of my life. So essentially, I didn't want the next 7 years to look like the past 7 years. And going about how I was actually handling things, that was going down the trajectory of my next 7 years looking like the past 7 years. And I didn't want that, because our most valuable asset on this earth is your time. So whether you're the richest person on earth or you're the poorest person, we all have the same amount of time. It's just a matter of like, how much do you value your time over money, right? If you value time, which you should value time because you don't even know when your last day is going to be, you need to take action as fast as humanly possible, so you can't hit those goals of like retiring your parents, or you can't hit those goals of hitting that 10K per month and being financial free and travel the world. All of that's very important, and you need the speed in order to actually hit that. And of course you can succeed with browsing YouTube videos, but the programs and info courses online is mostly used so you could condense down your time that it needs for you to succeed and hit whatever revenue marks you want to hit. The main thing with the courses I joined was that it held me accountable, and it also gave me a network of people in the trenches alongside with me. So when I was 16, I got started at SMMA, but I never achieved success. So why is that? Right? What if it was all just my fault, right? What if it was just like I didn't have accountability for myself? I gave up too easily, and no matter how good the program was, it was more so like a character flaw in me, right? I used to hop from thing to thing, never really committing on one thing. But what if you committed all in for the next 1 year of your life? You're going to achieve success. And a lot of people don't do that, or a lot of people are going to give up and they're going to be stuck in the same position in their life. So what if it was never about the program or the courses, and what if it was all just my fault? With that being said, you need to be held accountable in your own life. You'll have to battle through your trenches. Every single person that you see online has been in the trenches just alongside you. Every single person has started out in the trenches, not knowing what the next steps is going to be. Maybe they joined a program and maybe they did it by themselves. But in reality, it's all about you at the end of the day, in terms of like, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to hit your goals? Because there's going to be nights where you're running into a bottleneck, you're going to be kept up. Even me, when I had a successful business, I was kept up at night with all the bottlenecks I was running into in my business. And the main thing is like, okay, how do we adapt? How do we change in order to get to that next step? So programs are simply an aid to help you navigate the unknown and to speed up your progress with a V10 powered engine. But at the end of the day, you're still the driver of this engine. So whether you have the best engine, if you don't know how to drive, or you don't want to drive, or you quit and you put that V10 engine in your garage, you're going to not see success. So to recap, the courses that I joined were 1,000% worth the money, simply because it sped up my growth. But the success lies in your hands, and the knowledge is always there, but the accountability isn't. So you either have to be accountable for yourself, or find an info course or program that holds you accountable in order to take action every single day. That's all I really had. So if you want to buy that course or whatever, I would definitely go through with it, just because it allows you to have speed and action in your day-to-day. And have that momentum going so you can't hit your revenue marks. If you don't join that course and you try to do it yourself, what's going to happen is, if you don't hold yourself accountable, I'm not saying you can't do it by yourself, but if you don't hold yourself accountable, you're going to give up and you're going to go off to the next shiny object. But if you can hold yourself accountable, go ahead and go through with it. You might have to spend some time in order to actually find all the material, but you will succeed at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good the course is, it's all up to you. And you're the only person that controls your fate in this lifetime. And I'll catch you in the next video.